Hey everyone, I'm working on a chicken feeder today. The one that I currently have in the coop, the chickens keep on digging all the feed out of it, so it's costing me quite a bit. The one I'm building today will be under $10 and the supplies are fairly easy to come by. So let's go ahead and get started. So to build this chicken feeder, all you're going to need is to get one of these vegetable trays from the dollar store, a 5-gallon bucket with a lid, and what I'm going to do is drill a hole right here in the center of the 5-gallon bucket, then a hole right here, and then I'm going to run a bolt that I have laying around right through the two and bolt them on together. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and mark out here every little spot on the food tray where it lines up, and I'm going to drill a 1-inch hole all the way around, and then the food will fall into the food tray and the chickens will be able to eat out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and start drilling the holes and show how that's done. So I just took a Sharpie and marked in each one of those spots where the trays were to have a reference point of where to drill the next sets of holes. So now I'm going to take this piece off from this bucket and go and drill those holes with a 1.5 inch I decided is a good measurement paddle bit. So one thing I've noticed, even with having this bolt in the center, these edges are pretty floppy and fold up pretty easy. So what I'm going to do, I already did it right here, is take some screws and put them right along these edges, and that seems to firm them up so they're not as floppy. So I'm just going to do it in 3 of them and see how well that does. But I really do believe if you wanted to do this and you wanted to just use screws with some washers to keep it from tearing through the plastic, that would work fine. But I like this bolt because that's where it's going to really hold any amount of weight that's going to go into these. To show on the inside where how I drilled the holes, that's how it's drilled. So the food will be able to drain out down to the bottom. You'll be able to put a lid on top like that, and it will store a lot more food than some of those store-bought ones that are kind of the same design. You'll be able to hang it right there, and the lid will keep debris from getting kicked into it. Well, there's the feeder in their hen house. It doesn't seem to be helping with the problem that I was trying to solve. Right there is tons of chicken feed on the ground, and I think it's my fault. I added some shells, some oyster shells to their feed, and I think they're specifically digging them out. And you watch as this chicken eats, and I believe that's causing the problem. And yeah, she right down there just specifically pecked up the oyster shells. So that was my fault. I'm not going to put oyster shells in with their feed anymore. I will keep this feeder because sometimes we go on long trips and I can put different kinds of feed in it, but I'm learned don't put oyster shells in with their feed. I'll have to get a separate feeder for the oyster shells. They can just dig out because they are just going right for them. They might be needing them and that's why they're going for them, but that's going to cost me a lot in feed. The upside is I do compost all of their bedding and feed that's in here, so it's not like it's completely going to waste, but that's going to be making expensive compost. I might as well at this point just go and throw their bags of feed in the compost. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you again next time.